Hi, I'm here to introduce this little 5-part video thing about dance and its capacity to serve as an antidote to anxiety in our most anxious of times. Enjoy. We live in a raging age of anxiety. Between continuing COVID crap, which looks like it will be with us forever, politics, the environment, inflation,
healthcare, housing, education. Do you feel your blood pressure already rising?
we have reason to feel anxious. But I think a little dance can help, and here's why. I have never deluded myself with the idea that dance would save the world, although I have always believed it makes the world a better place to save. But recent studies give me pause. The studies focus on A, the impact of technology on our physicality and social interactions, B, the impact of our physicality on how we think and feel, C, the impact of loneliness on our health and longevity. Dance can positively and effectively address the concerns raised in these studies. Though dance may not save the world, dance may have a role to play in healing us in this raging age of anxiety. Technology. We live in an amazing technological culture where we have access to anything we want, anytime we want it, and it comes customized. We can order it at 3 p.m. or 3 a.m., have it delivered to our door. We never even have to get out of our pajamas, much less inconvenience ourselves with the weather. The extent of our physicality is increasingly here, not here. Technology has seismically realigned how we interact with the world. Over the last 6 years, various studies have emerged indicating that tweens and teens spend on average about 9 hours per day, that's like a job, 63 hours per week, online. And yet, in this embarrassment of informational riches, we live lives of scarcity. As Brene Brown put it, the last thing we think before we go to bed is that we didn't get enough done. And the first thing we think when we wake up is that we didn't get enough sleep. Our social interactions have not escaped this sense of scarcity. Vivek H. Murthy, former U.S. Surgeon General, wrote that we live in the most technologically connected age in the history of civilization, and yet rates of loneliness have doubled since the 1980s. Doubled, people. Doubled. You feeling lonely? You feeling lonely? Sometimes I feel, you know what? I don't really feel lonely. I mean, I'm alone, but I don't feel lonely. That's a difference. For all of our social media, we lack significant social bonds. Social isolation has become epidemic. You know those young men who commit gun violence atrocities? I mean, like time and again. So bad. So bad. In every case, they felt isolated. They felt like they were social ghosts. Something going on there. In January of 2018, British Prime Minister Theresa May appointed a Minister for Loneliness. I love that. Because more than 9 million people in Britain often or always feel lonely. This is not just a British issue. A 2016 Harris Poll survey of more than 2,000 Americans showed that almost 3/4 or 72% of Americans experience loneliness, and I think with COVID, that number has jacked up. 1/3 said they feel lonely at least once a week. Man, that sucks. People who feel lonely tend to lack significant social bonds, and these bonds are super important. People who feel isolated and lonely suffer higher mortality rates, increased risk of depression, cognitive decline, and illnesses like coronary artery disease. Since 2007, loneliness has become the primary driver behind a 30% increase in suicidality. Middle-aged white men, in particular, are at risk. A little note here, there's been a massive increase in anxiety and depression, especially with COVID. Loneliness is linked to higher levels of anxiety and depression. So they kind of all work together to bring you down.